Hey everybody, bear with me. I'm really bad at presentations, and this is maybe the seventh go around. I can't get it right, so I'm just going to go with it, have some fun. So, my idea is the pursuit of happiness in American literature throughout centuries, and has it changed? Happiness has been a theme of many of the course's readings, such as Jefferson's Declaration of Independence, Thoreau, Thoreau's Walden Pond, Henry James's Daisy Miller, and Faulkner's Barn Burning. While writing this paper, it also occurred to me that one of F. Scott Fitzgerald's famous writings would also come in handy here, and that would be The Great Gatsby. I believe that the idea of the pursuit of happiness is a universal idea in the world, and even time cannot change this idea. All these authors use their own unusual ways to exhibit in their writings how a person may search for happiness. While writing this paper, I also discovered an idea or a theme that comes across many of these writings, and that is sacrifice with the idea of the pursuit of happiness. I noticed while writing the paper that each author uses sacrifices in their works when linked to the pursuit of happiness with many of their characters. The main author throughout this course that has contributed to pursuit of happiness the most is Thomas Jefferson. In 1776, Congress appoints Thomas Jefferson to be the lead in drafting the Declaration of Independence. In this piece of work, Jefferson states that all men are equal and have certain rights that they are born with, such as the pursuit of happiness. When it comes to sacrifice, I believe that Jefferson sacrifices the nation's tie with Britain for the chance that all men should have equal rights. And what do you know? He succeeded. Henry David Thoreau says that mass men lead lives of quiet desperation. This quote was taken from Walden's Pond, and it shows that Thoreau believes that the majority of men are unhappy. He also says that most of the luxuries and many of the so-called comforts of life are not only indispensable, but positive hindrances to the elevation of mankind. The importance of this quote is that it shows the author's viewpoints on wealth and material objects. To Thoreau, he does not believe that wealth or worldly objects can make a man happy, so he decides to sacrifice some of his own time, actually 2 years and 2 months of his own time, to find out the necessities that make a man happy. And that is his sacrifice when it comes to the pursuit of happiness. Allie Mendelson, in her article of Literary Pursuit of Happiness, says, "The ending of a novel is not the ending of a life. It is the ending of a story. And the ending of a story does not attempt to reflect the ending of a life. A happy ending promises neither eternal life nor eternal bliss at its core, whether it has brought a woman to ambiguous freedom or two lonely souls into love. It promises nothing more than the possibility of happiness. Sad endings too often promise the opposite." End of her quote. I believe that this quote by Mendelson explains how both James's Daisy Miller and Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby go about the pursuit of happiness, even if there's not a happy ending. Henry James's Daisy Miller is a short story about a man and a woman who are both trying to find happiness. I believe in the story the main tragedy is how Daisy and both Mr. Winterbourne both do not find happiness. I mean, you've all read these stories. There's no need for me to summarize them. But I believe that Daisy sacrifices what she had with Winterbourne by spending all this time with all these other men. And Mr. Winterbourne, being the hot-headed, stiff, stubborn man that he is, does not take his chance with Daisy and therefore sacrifices his chance with her. William Faulkner's Barn Burning is another story about a character having to make a sacrifice to find his happiness. The story is about a young boy by the name of Colonel Sartorius Snopes who finds conflict with his father's actions and violence. Being a young boy, he fears for his life and knows that the only way to save himself is to run away from it all. In the end of the story, he finally sacrifices his ties with his father and family and goes on his search for his own happiness. William Vogelli, in his article about The Great Gatsby, said this: "The most American, most winning, and most disquieting thing about Jay Gatsby is his casual assurance that nothing is settled merely because it has already happened. If we don't like the hand we are dealt, the way we live, we have the right and duty to call for a new one." Jay Gatsby, in my opinion, is a man who has everything the material world can offer, but yet he is still unhappy until one day Daisy Buchanan comes back into his life. I believe that Daisy is a symbol of Jay's American dream that he is searching for. Even though he has all the wealth in the world, he is still missing one piece of the puzzle, and that is Daisy. I believe that if Jay had lived till the end, that he would have sacrificed all his wealth, all his objects, just to have Daisy back in his life. My conclusion is that, in my opinion, the pursuit of happiness in literature has not changed over time. There may be different scenarios, different characters, and different ways we go about it, but even though the years have separated each of these authors, certain themes, such as sacrificing, whatever it may be, still plays the role in the pursuit of happiness. And that is why I believe that the pursuit of happiness has not changed in literature. Thank you.